An India versus Pakistan cricket match, or Real Madrid versus Barcelona football match, or Hamilton versus Verstappen, all epic rivalries, but none so as epic as the i20 versus the Baleno. This video is gonna be action-packed. So now that we've flexed our B-roll and edit muscle, let me talk about the way these two look. Now yes, looks are a personal choice. They are subjective. I might like something, you might not, and third person might like something that I might not, and it sort of goes on and on and on. But I think the one thing that we can both agree on, both these look quite cool. They look modern, they look hip. They look like something you'd go into a showroom and buy. You want my personal choice though? You want my personal opinion on this? I like the rear end of the i20 more. I like the front end of the Baleno more. I like the wheels on the i20 more, but I like the details on the Baleno a little bit more. Maybe I can just mix and match like a bowl of ramen. Isn't it funny now that mass market cars that used to look so boring and frankly uninspiring now look this good? Yes, Maruti has stuck to its evolutionary approach and Hyundai has been revolutionary like it always does, but both these schools of thought seem to work and work well. Every car engine undergoes a lot of stress in city driving, particularly during warm-up and in stop-start conditions, whether it is due to traffic or short trips. Ordinary car oils may not be enough to protect your car engine, and that is why we recommend fully synthetic Castrol magnetic stop-start for non-stop protection. Right, so I'm guessing by now you've mentioned in the comments section which one you like more. But now I think it's time for them to discuss between themselves what they can offer us in terms of all the features they have. Something like a game of automotive top trumps.
Oh, finally! He left us alone.
All that's fine. But tell me, why are you smaller than what you were?
Listen, trust me, there is more than enough space here for any family. Why don't we get to the features list?
Are you sure? Okay, let's start with checking whose is bigger. Mine is 10.25 inches. Beat that.
What?
It's screen size.
Oh, dude, 9 inches. But it's the way I use it that matters, okay? What about a heads-up display?
Head what? What is that? I have a digital instrument cluster though.
Yes, but some people prefer what I have though. A simple old-school analog unit, because with me, you get tech, like a 360-degree camera.
Yeah, okay. No need to toot your first in class horn, okay? I have a sunroof.
Well, I admit that is nice, but let's hope no one sticks their brainless heads out of it.
Okay, so have you two decided which one of you is more superior, and can I now please take one of you out for a bit of a quick drive? Isn't it always a great thing to be reacquainted with a car that you spent thousands of kilometers on Indian highways in the i20? Now, let's be honest first. The 1.2 naturally aspirated engine i20, which is the natural rival to the Baleno, is not the one we have here today. This one is a diesel that we borrowed from one of our competitive colleagues from another publication for a weekend, and maybe a little bit more. Maybe I'll keep it for a little more just to be a little annoying and a little heresy. That said, as I mentioned, this is a diesel, and that's something that the i20 does offer that the Baleno doesn't. A plethora of engine options, a buffet of engines, if you can call it that. So you get the normal 1.2 naturally aspirated petrol, you get the 1 litre turbo in the standard form, and of course that N line, which is awesome. And then you get this, the diesel, which is really frugal. I mean, it literally sips diesel from a tiny straw. Just like that. It is so fuel efficient, especially in times like this. That said, it's not just the engine options that the i20 gives you, it's also the gearbox options. Of course, you get the manual and the CVT in the 1.2 naturally aspirated engine. You get the 6-speed manual and the torque converter in the diesel, and then you get the lovely DCT in the turbo option. So that's again another buffet that the i20 offers. As compared to that, the Baleno just offers you the manual and the AMD. The CVT no longer exists. If the i20 does have a flaw though, and that one really isn't with the product, it is the pricing. The Baleno starts off cheaper, and all the way through the range it is more affordable too. Of course, this is when we compare comparable engines and not the diesel or the turbo on the i20. Now, Maruti Suzuki. How is it that in 2022 you guys can make an engine that revs this freely and puts this big a smile on somebody's face? How old is the K12 mill? 14, 15 years old. It's gone through a whole bunch of development in the past. How is it that this is still as rev happy as it always used to be? You know what this engine reminds me of? It reminds me of my childhood when I had a G13B from the S-Team to rev around and play around with, and that would rev to the moon and back. And yes, I know I'm using cliche automotive journalism terms, but this makes me happy. And that's the kind of terms I use when I am happy. You know what? The Baleno was always a sort of sportier product as compared to the i20. The i20 is a phenomenal family, well-rounded hatchback. The Baleno was a great car as well. It's now better. It's now more grown up too. But it's still not lost that sportiness. It's like somebody who wants that dal and chawal but wants that extra salt sprinkled on it to make it just a little bit his own. This is a fun car. It just is. Now I know what you are thinking. Safety. Neither of these two have a stellar paper record for safety, and yes, people on the internet call them a name that rhymes with Tim Dan's. But look, both of them get stability control, both get 6 airbags, and I'd frankly put my family in either one of them. And if that is not vouching for them, I don't know what is. You know how I always say that my video comparison tests will have a winner and a loser, but this time it's different. Because this time, there are no losers. Both of these cars, in my eyes, are winners because they bring just so much to the table for us common people. In fact, you know what? They aren't the winners. All of us are the winners in this case. Yes, I'd like the Maruti to have a diesel engine option again someday and a more powerful turbo petrol. And yes, I'd like the i20 to be a little bit cheaper. And you know what? I'd like both of these cars to have cool seats. But even with those gripes, I'd buy either one of them and be happy. Because both of these cars are great at what they do. We all win in this case. Strange result, isn't it?